Hello, 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 hello. It's Jmali, and this is the Manifesto, Season 2, Episode 3, Part 1. Let's get into it. Yes. So, it's been a moment. It's been a moment. I am so happy to be back here, and I just want to say thank you for those that continue to support me and love on me. I appreciate it. I really do. And as we go forward, I just want to say a couple of house rules, reminders. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, comment, do all those wonderful things, engage, share as I grow my channel. Thank you. It's really appreciated. All right, guys. So let's get into it. All right. I just watched an amazing video with the wonderful K Michelle. As you know, that she was in a battle to become a country singer with her label for a while there. And we didn't think it was going to happen. K Michelle was making country music for a while. And come to find out through the interview with Jason Lee, she had struggles with the industry and the label she was up under. And supposedly they were saying, you came from Love and Hip Hop. You don't need to be doing country. We got this handled over here in Nashville. But as you know, if you know K Michelle, like from the reality scene, you know that that's who she is naturally. And just like Cardi B and Jason Lee went on Love and Hip Hop, and they used the platform to really grow their lives. You know, K Michelle did that. She did that. I'm sorry. She really did. A lot of people did not understand K Michelle going forward in that season that she was in on Love and Hip Hop. And they didn't understand her realness. Like, she told the truth multiple times, a lot of times. Even when it came to her ex, I believe it was Memphis Bleak. Okay. All right. Yeah, 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 and his abusive nature. And then when Toya bought him on Marriage Boot Camp, we began to see everything that K Michelle was talking about. And unfortunately, everything done in the dark comes to light. So we know K Michelle's not a liar. She may say things that are hurtful and, you know, kind of speak out of turn sometimes when it doesn't need to be spoken. But I think she's learned her lesson. And that brings me to the point of her going to be on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Come on, y'all. This show has been the number one reality show for a long time. And when I tell you, I can see why now. I haven't watched Real Housewives of Atlanta in years. And I used to watch every Sunday. I would make sure that I had my cable ready, my popcorn, chips, a little wine, and a little, yeah. Yeah, every Sunday evening, I would make sure and would lock in with the reality shows, along with Empire and so many other nostalgic, television shows that were happening back in the day. But I believe this new season is going to be so exciting. I saw a clip of K Michelle being K Michelle, the shady version that we all love to laugh at. But most of the time, she's so extremely serious. And she was talking about a couple of mohawks, people walking in with mohawks, someone being on FaceTime with their boo that just got a divorce, and how it seemed like a Tyler Perry production. And we all know Tyler Perry Productions brings the wigs that we personally laugh at, don't like, but we still watch because it's entertaining. Anything that Tyler Perry brings out, especially for me personally, my experience, I love his work. I love what he's done over the years for Black artists. So I'm excited about that. All right. And we're going to move on. I know you guys have seen within the last 2 to 3 weeks that the wonderful Harris family and 50 Cent have been battling each other. Who would have ever thought? Who would have ever thought? My God, whoever. Like, I understand 50 Cent, but the Harris family, they don't really get into beef like that. But those children are grown now, very grown. And I'm so, you know, here for it. I'm loving that the entire family came out with music that spoke up for the mom. So what happened was T.I. and Tiny were on a live at the house, right? And then T.I. hands Tiny the phone. Tiny is chilling. She's in her home, which is a beautiful estate. And they're on live, and I'm sure he's not thinking as a man. You know how men are, especially when you lived with a man or you've ever lived with a man, they're not thinking about that I have to put on my face, I have to make sure my hair is good. And that's for all women. I don't care what level of beauty she has. All women feel that way. You know, let me just at least put on some oil on my face so it's not dry and on my lips and on my hands and stuff, so it's not crispy looking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say it, but you remember when Portia called out Kenya for them ashy feet. Ashy, hey Ashy, love Kenya to death. Not talking junk, but I'll never forget that. Since we're talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, when that came to my girl K Michelle. And so Tiny gets on the live, she stays on there. Tiny is used to people going in on her for years. But if you think about it, when Tiny was young, she was beautiful. She still is to me. Personally, Tiny is beautiful to me. She just, she's had several pregnancies. She's had kids and, dealing with Ti over the years can be a struggle, it seems like. As she stated herself, things that they've gone through. I'm not just saying this, this is from her mouth, not mine's, from hers. And I watched their show as well. Love the Harris family show back in the day, and how the kids just entertained us, and the sister, may she rest in peace, entertained us. The other day, Damani dropped a song at a gravesite, and it's been about a whole month since it started. And the thing is that somebody took that video where Tiny and Ti were live, and Ti takes the camera and turns it to her, or gives it to her. He says, "Here." I guess he was leaving or something. It was a really quick moment, and Tiny takes the video, and it's all in her face, and she wasn't ready. So somebody took that clip and put it online, and then 50 Cent takes the clip and puts it on his page, and all hell breaks loose that day. I don't know what he said. I don't really care. But as a man, and that woman's married, and that she has dealt with this multiple times, it would behoove you to maybe not do that. But 50 Cent isn't naturally a good looking man. He isn't. I saw him the like 2 weeks ago. And I said, my God, he has gotten old and his age is really showing. His whole face is just not, if he wasn't 50 Cent, trust me, nobody would want him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he wasn't wealthy, and I'm not saying that he's ugly, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but you can't, people that get picked on a lot because of their facial features, naturally, they're going to always do stuff like that. They're going to reflect, oh, they talk about me, so I'm going to talk about them. Da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? And he's dated some beautiful women. One in particular, my girl, Cuban. She's going to school to be a lawyer. I'm sure she's still in school, but they broke up. Thank God. I know. I remember a couple of years ago when they first started dating, he made a statement about women, and she had to correct him in front of the world, and it was allowed by him, which I was surprised that he didn't say anything because 50 Cent says what he wants to say about people. It's like he has no filter, and there's no problem with that. But she corrected that real quick, and now she is over there, and he's over there. I haven't seen him with anybody else since. I think that he's going to be, daddling all his life, the rest of his life. He has the money to do it, but is that something that you want to do as a man with all that money? I don't think so. Even with the Diddy case and him and his baby mama, going back and forth with that and her going back and forth between Diddy and 50 Cent was crazy. I didn't even know this until I really honed in on the Diddy trial that she was actually dating Diddy and going back and forth with 50 and Diddy. They didn't like each other over her. So, in the industry, I'm sure it's just like the world. You have your problems, and it's just crazier because the celebrities are their problems are public. So we get the first look into it. We want all the tea, we want all the information, all the funnies and things of that nature. But back to what I was saying, Damani does his song in front of the grave with 50 Cent's mom's name on it. I don't know if that's the real grave, but they said in the post that he was standing in front of his mom's grave, and I'm sure it wasn't. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the mom's grave. But you get the point. We get the point. We get the point, Damani. And it was a letter to Miss Jackson. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was very lyrical. I understood what he was saying. You just can't comfort people's mothers. You cannot, especially for the Harris family. Reminds me of my family. You come for one of us, you come for all of us, period. You may not know it until it's too late, but yeah, like, no, you can't do it naturally, period. It's not happening. Okay? So my hat goes off to the Harris family. You guys won that battle. At the end of the day, 50 Cent had his wins. It's time for him to, experience the loss. I haven't seen him say anything in a while. So, if they keep going for him for another couple of months, I wouldn't mind watching. It's entertaining. It's very entertaining to see that all the children are using their talents for the good. And this kind of rap singing battle, because the one that plays the guitar, he came out with a song with Damani as well. Damani has just been hitting him back to back every week. King came out with his song and started it first. You knew it had to be King with the afro showing up. Come on now, he ain't gonna play about his mama. And Damani and his brother that plays the guitar, like Lenny Kravitz, I forgot his name, but those two have the same mom. I didn't know that until I did a little bit more research on it. So I'm proud of the Harris family children. Show up for her. She did what she had to do. I mean, that's real love right there. Dealing with children that's not yours, that's a real love. That's a whole village, and they're sticking behind her. The support that they showing Ti that Dad, we got your back. You ain't gotta say anything. Ti came out with his song running to the checkered flag. Like, oh, that song was hot. You just needed to hear Ti's voice at this point. Like, that was before everything, but then the kids came right behind him and washed 50 away, washed him away in the waves of the ocean, of the salt that he's gathered from doing the same thing to other people over the years. And now it's your season, buddy. Oh, how does that feel? But 50 Cent, he just don't lay down. He's probably brewing up some concoction to get ready for his next hit or victim. And it may not be the Harris family anymore because that's a big group of people to be dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Like a family that just won't quit. As you see, it's going on a month and a half almost now. If I'm not mistaken, a month and a half. That's a long beef. That is a long beef for somebody to be making a song every week, every child. My God, when is it going to stop? It's hilarious at this point. But I saw a couple of comments say, "Oh, this is getting out of hand. You're at the gravesite. Now you're pushing it too far." And 50 wasn't, 50 hasn't said anything, but you guys are still coming for him. Well, he shouldn't have started it. He just shouldn't have started it. You just maybe should have left it alone. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get it? Leave it alone. That's all you had to do. Leave it alone. All right? So, and then some people said 50 been doing this for years to people. He deserves it. So we'll see what comes of that. Guys, thank you for checking in and watching and subscribing and following to grow this channel even more so I can do what I love to do, which is entertainment. And you'll see me more. Part two is coming soon. Thank you for watching. And don't forget, share, comment, engage. We love you over here. And I'm nice, but I'm not that nice. Good night.